Hi, and thank you for tuning in and watching this Skinny BFF post. And it's about how I lost 45 pounds eating pizza and cookies. Yes, that's true, eating pizza and cookies. So, how did I do it? How could you do it? I have 5 tips. And also, I'm going to have a guest speaker come on, and she's going to give her take on this. She is Nadine. She's on Instagram as Rascal Mama, and she's a wellness enthusiast. She looks fantastic, so you know she's living what she preaches and what she studies. Her background is in the psychology of nutrition. So, psychology of eating, I'm sorry. And she's fantastic. So, what are my 5 tips? Okay, so first off, um, you want to go grain free. Yes, that means no wheat, no white wheat, no white flour, no brown flour, no wheat. Instead, you want to go with the alternative flours like almond flour, coconut flour, cassava flour, and yes, you can eat pizza. There's certain brands like Capello's, which makes a great pizza crust. You can also have your chips. Sieta is a brand that makes lots of great chips. I buy this all the time for my family. So you can eat it, you can have it, no guilty feelings, and you'll lose weight because that's what I did. Number 2, I would say go veggie crazy. I would say every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, have some veggies in any form. Like you could have sauteed spinach, sauteed mushrooms, you could have salad, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And at least half of your plate should be veggies. So if you have pizza, for example, which I can personally eat for lunch, breakfast, and dinner for a while, I have done it. You can have half your plate, at least half your plate be veggies, and then another half could be pizza, but I would say even 3/4 of your plate could be veggies of some form. Sauteed, walked, like stir fry, any form, raw. The more veggies, it fills you up, and it's good nutrition, and it's great for your body, and it gives you that energy that you need, and it fills you up. Third, I would say more water. Drink as much water as you can, and replace the juice, the soda. All that juice and soda has a lot of sugar, wasted sugar, and it doesn't do anything good for you. Water is life. It's great for you. Number 4, I would say go into the kitchen and go crazy, because if you can cook, it's a lot cheaper than going out and buying a product. So you can make your pizza. There's a lot of easy, quick, cheap recipes out there, and I would go for the paleo recipes because those are going to have the grain-free recipes. So one recipe site that I love is Paleo Running Mama, MOMMA, and that's where I got this great pizza crust recipe, and it literally takes me 20 minutes from start to finish to get that out. And I have 2 kids, so I have ADD. It's hard for me to focus, but if I can do it, you can do it. So if you can cook, and also if you really don't want to be in the kitchen, you just can't make it, make a protein shake. Quick, fast, easy, cheap. So there are alternatives out there. But as far as cookies, make your cookies. There's lots of great recipes out there, and you can have a cookie or 2, or we can have cookies without feeling guilty. As long as it's grain free, as long as it's got the right ingredients in it, it's not a problem. And number 5, I would say eat for your gut. What does that mean? It means your gut bacteria is very important. If you eat right, you will stay skinny for life. You will be healthy for life. But if you eat the wrong foods and drink like soda and eat fast food, you're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel terrible, and you're going to have a lot of more problems. And I know you know that. Everybody knows that. But if you are very particular about what you eat, you can eat whatever you want. It's just how you make it. So that's my take. And if you have any questions, oh, and also go to drgundry.com. That actually explains in details about the science behind it. Dr. Gundry is a doctor. He's a heart surgeon. He's a scientist. He's has a book out called The Plant Paradox, and he explains in details about what's good and what's bad. He's got a list there that you can actually follow. You can also comment me and ask me about it, and I'll be happy to help you. So, without further ado, I want to get going with Nadine or Rascal Mama on Instagram.
Hey guys, so this is Nadine tuning in from Vienna. I just wanted to say a big thank you to Tony for asking me to add some of my views to her video, and I really hope that a lot of guys and girls watch it. I just want to add a few things to what Tony said. Generally, I completely agree with the grain-free. I used to and still do eat paleo, and there is a reason why paleo people go grain-free, or you should go grain-free, and I'll specifically go into gluten as well, but generally grains have phytic acid, and this is something that our bodies cannot digest. Phytic acid actually stops our bodies from being able to intake minerals or uptake minerals, which causes, in general, when someone eats a lot of grains and gluten, for chronic malnutrition, actually. So that could be seen in your blood work, for example, if you lack in iron or magnesium, zinc, even calcium, for example. So that's also a reason why generally I stay away from legumes as well, because all of these grains and legumes have a high percentage of phytic acid, which is just not capable of being processed by our bodies, and therefore can be detrimental to us. Also gluten, why stay away from gluten? Gluten's not the same what it used to be, or grains that contain gluten. Ages and decades, maybe even hundreds, thousands of years ago, gluten used to be completely different. By now it's hybridized and it's deamidated, which means that hybridization means that a lot of the strains of gluten that we have now, they're actually combined from different strains of different types of wheat, and they make up new kinds of protein, which means that this new protein that we consume then, which is just labeled wheat or gluten, is actually is a completely new compound, which means our body can actually not even digest it. And that causes a lot of inflammation in our body. And inflammation also just makes us feel crap. I mean, besides the fact that our body is actually fighting something that it cannot even win against, to be honest. And deamidation actually is an extensive process in the food industry, which makes gluten more water soluble, because gluten actually in its original form is only soluble by alcohol. So nowadays they deamidate gluten, which makes it more easily soluble with anything, with any other foods and water. That's why bread is fluffy, for example. If you would think back to like maybe your great grandmother baking or something, the bread would look, taste, feel different, also eat differently. So generally grains should be avoided due to that. There are many more factors, but I was just going to outline the most important ones to me. And it's extremely bad for your gut bacteria because of all these things. Generally always has been. We're not made to process gluten in the least, ever. We used to be hunter-gatherers, so that means focusing on vegetables and meats and good oils. Or good fats is what we should be doing. Also, Tony mentioned veggies. I totally agree. The less processed food, the more vegetables, the more leafy greens, for example, you take into your diet, the more fiber you have, the more filling it is. I can only completely agree with that. It makes you feel great. It makes you feel full the more you eat. So half to 3/4 of a plate, definitely my thumbs up. As to refined sugar, Just like grains, sugars are carbs. Anything, or just like sugars, grains are carbs. You can take it anyway. The body cannot differentiate between a grain as a carb or a legume as a carb or sugar. Uh, Definitely not refined sugar. Um, and therefore, it doesn't matter whether you eat a slice of bread, a slice of pizza, or a chocolate bar, because your body will release insulin. And by the high carb diet that most people live by, and I mean over 100 grams, over 150 grams of carbs a day, I mean your insulin goes nuts. No wonder you have hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia. It doesn't matter. And that brings me to refined sugars, which are basically a drug. And you probably, or we all are addicted to it if we eat refined sugar. I agree with the soda. I agree with the diet pop or pop. It doesn't matter. Sugar is sugar, and it mixes badly with your body, and it makes you produce a lot of insulin. It makes you have ups and downs. It throws your neurotransmitter it's out of balance. It causes anxiety, depression, hunger pangs, low energy or fatigue, and it's hard to fight. If you ever go off sugar, you will notice that about 3 to 4, 5 days within the first week, you will have withdrawal. You will be crabby. You will feel like crap. You might be angry. It's actual withdrawal. It's a drug. So, what else can I say to that? Well, basically, if you leave out these things like sugar, grains, that includes gluten and stuff like that, and you eat for your gut, which is yes, no processed food, good meat, good fats, and lots of leafy greens and vegetables, then you can only help yourself, and you will look leaner, you will become leaner, you will feel more energized. And it just helps, because otherwise your body is constantly fighting inflammation. Because if you are eating higher amounts of grains and sugars, there are hidden inflammations in your body you might not even be feeling or seeing, or you might feel like you're normal, but really it's not. Like, you shouldn't be feeling like that. And so your body fights this the whole time, and it actually then just doesn't have a way of regenerating properly or giving you, it's just subpar, and it can't get back to a certain way that it should be. So give your body a chance. That's what I say. You'll see your moods will get better, you'll sleep better, and as Tony said, the probable byproduct will be that you will lose quite a bit of weight. Yeah, if you'd like to know any more about all these theories, including why grain-free, why sugar-free, I can only recommend a really good book. It's called Why Isn't My Brain Working? This will be flipped, I guess. And it's by Dr. Datis Kharrazian. I'll just show it one more time. And yeah, well, thanks for tuning in. It was an honor being on here, and I hope I made sense. Bye.